Hey guys, this is Zero here, and welcome to my year-end and I guess decade-end video vlog thing that I do every year. I hope you guys had a great holiday with whatever you celebrate, and I hope we're going to have a great new year. I'm going to separate this into a few segments. I'm going to start off with what I got for Christmas and Boxing Day, and then we'll move into a year review, and then we'll go into what to expect for the future. So, without further ado, let's look at some stuff. So, I did get some Russell Stover no sugar added chocolate. I actually have another bag of it here, but it's crumpled up. I can't really eat much candy because of this diet that I'm on, but this stuff has no added sugars. It just has natural sugar, so this stuff is fine. It's still within moderation. I haven't even opened this one, obviously. So yeah, I got that from my folks. I also, my folks mostly gave me like clothes and stuff this year, including Fruit of the Loom socks that are really comfy that I'm wearing right now. But my brother and his girlfriend got me some game stuff. First off, they got me Cartoon Network Battle Crashers and Rad Rogers on the PS4. I'd actually been wanting to pick this game up for a while, but the price wasn't right, and I guess they figured what it was. It's like a action side-scroller shooter platformer kind of thing. So now I'll have to play this and find out. I actually already owned this, but now I only had it digitally, so I'm probably going to keep this as a physical copy because Battle Crashers is like a beat-em-up game that people say is just meh, but I don't know. I want to play through it at some point with some friends, and I always like beat 'em ups, so I got those. Let's see. They also got me a couple of books. First and foremost, they got me the Super Star Wars issue of Nintendo Power. This is volume number 42. I was not expecting to get this, but this is really cool. I love Star Wars. I love video games, and Super Star Wars is really fun. I might actually be able to use this to help me beat that game because that game's kind of tough. So yeah, they got me this. And then finally, they got me the Playing with Superpower book from Prima. This is from 2017. It's an official Nintendo licensed product, and it's just a book all about my favorite console of all time, the Super Nintendo. So that's really cool. This is our bathroom book right now, and look at how thick this thing is. So there's a lot of stuff. They talk about technical specs, game releases, a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm really happy to get this. I also did get the digital version of Pat the NES Punk's Super NES guidebook. I didn't want to go for a physical copy because his last book is kind of big, and I know Pat's more of an NES guy, so I still wanted to get it, but I decided to get a digital version that I can read on phone or whatever. But yeah, this book is really cool. I'm glad I got it. I also got a digital game from my friend Shadow Snake. I'm just trying to remember what game it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure text will go on the screen somewhere to say what it was, but yeah, he got me a game, as he usually does, because Shadow Snake, you're crazy. You don't need to get us games, but yeah, thank you very much for the game that you got. Sorry, I don't know what it is, but I'll put text on the screen to put what game it was. Yeah, that's about it for Christmassy stuff. Like I said, most of my stuff was clothes because I don't know if you guys can tell, but like this shirt is baggy on me. A lot of my clothes is baggy on me because I've lost a lot of weight this year, which we'll get into later. But yeah, for the first time ever, all the clothes I've gotten for Christmas have fit me or been just a little bigger than what I expected, which means I'll still keep it. So yeah, clothes shopping is getting easier for me. I guess this diet is paying off. So, but yeah, anyways, let's move on to Boxing Day. First and foremost, a couple of digital things. I finally picked up Earth Defense Force Iron Rain on PS4 because the collector's edition was half off. So I have that, and man, it's really fun. I'll get into more of that in a future video, but it's a really fun game. In terms of Switch stuff, I did pick up a few games for Black Friday and Boxing Day. Double Cross, which is a great little like it's kind of like Mega Man Zero. It's kind of like that kind of game, but it's got different things where you can like phase through things and whatnot, and you have a grappling hook. Dynabomb, which is like single screen, or not single screen, but very short levels where you play as a guy with a jetpack and a bomb. Really cool. Commander Keen in Keen Dreams, which is a port from the DOS version. I haven't played much of it, but it's okay. I need to play more of it to get a better feel. I picked up the Oniken and Dallas collection. I actually want to get this physically, but it was on sale for like $6, so I thought, why not? If you haven't played these games, they're retro throwback action side-scroller adventure games. Well, Dallas's and Oniken's kind of just like, it's like Project Vice, I think it's called, on NES, so definitely check that out. I picked up Ghoul Boy. I already have Ghoul Boy on PC, but I wanted the Switch version, so I picked that up. Also another cool retro thing. Gunpowder on the Teeth arcade. This is interesting. It's like a noir war style side-scroller shooter. It kind of reminds me of games like what's the game I'm thinking of? Like Broforce, but it's a single-player game, so that's interesting. A Robot Named Fight, which is literally just a Metroid-inspired Metroidvania game, where you play as a robot named Fight through a Metroidvania-style game. I also got a couple of ports of games for Data East arcade games. I got Nitro Ball, which is kind of an interesting game. We've got Too Crude, which is like, I think it's like a pseudo sequel to Bad Dudes, because it kind of is the same premise. It's kind of like a multi-layered beat 'em up, side-scroller beat 'em up. So that's pretty interesting. Gate of Doom, which is an isometric action adventure game. Sly Spy, which is a side-scrolling spy game. We got Wizard Fire, which is a really, really great game. It's another action arcade game. And then just a few more games to go over. We've got games like I picked up Super Burger Time, Bad Dudes, and there's a few others here that I can talk about, such as like games like Deadly Fighter 2, Bury Me My Love, which is kind of like a visual novel kind of game, but it was free. Robonauts was also free, and Biolab Wars, which is another retro style. It's another retro style game, kind of like Project Vice. Mother Russia Bleeds, which is a beat 'em up, and then other games like Volgar the Viking, which I've been wanting to get for a while. And I also picked up physically Katamari Reroll, Killer Queen Black, and Everyone's Golf. I actually have a picture of my Black Friday stuff. I'll put on Instagram. I'll probably put it on the screen here. And I picked up Void and Magic Cat as well on here. I also got Miles and Kilo, the sequel to that game I reviewed. What's the name? I can't think of it right now. Trying to think of the game right now, but it's a sequel to, I'll probably put it on the screen here. But yeah, it's a sequel to that. So I got a lot of stuff digitally. I'm not going to go through every single thing because there's a ton of stuff I have on my Switch. I have a lot of digital games on my Switch. But yeah, that's just some of the stuff that I got digitally. So let's now hop into some of the physical stuff I got on Boxing Day. All right, let's get into the stuff that I bought on Boxing Day. So let's go through a few things. First off, I went to a few different places. So let's start with, I went to Walmart. Oh, bag's falling over. There's a lot of stuff here. I went to Bulk Barn and got some stuff on sale as well, like nuts and stuff that I can eat as part of my diet. So that was nice. I picked up a couple things. I picked up the Cobra Kai collection, seasons 1 and 2. I've been wanting to watch Cobra Kai for a while. My brother's watched some of it, and I know the first season's free on YouTube right now, and we really didn't want to get YouTube Premium, but I thought, you know what? I own all the movies on DVD. I might as well get the TV show too. So yeah, I'm finally gonna sit through this, and it comes with like Daniel-san's headband, which I think is kind of neat. I also picked up for $5 American Graffiti and More American Graffiti. as some of you guys know, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I actually do like some of George Lucas's other movies, like the Indiana Jones series and stuff like that. I wasn't a big fan of THX 1138, either version, but American Graffiti is ones I've always wanted to see, and I guess there's a sequel to American Graffiti. Is the sequel made by? Is the sequel? I feel like is the sequel directed by Ron Howard. I know Ron Howard's in this movie, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it. But anyways, this was $5, and I've always wanted to watch these movies, so I thought, why not? Might as well check it out. So yeah, there wasn't. I will say about Boxing Day this year is it wasn't as busy because the deals weren't as great, but I did get some stuff that I wanted to get as well. So yeah, yay Walmart. Let's see. I also went to EB Games. There are 2 different EB Games I went to, and I picked up a few games. So I'm going to go into the first one here first. So first off, I finally picked up Penguin Wars. This is, if you don't know what Penguin Wars is, it's a remake / sequel. I don't know what you would put this as, but it's sort of like a Pong-esque game. Where you throw balls and whatnot, and it's interesting. It's kind of like a mix of dodgeball and Pong, and this was on for a good price for $20, so I figured I'd finally pick this up. So yeah, Penguin Wars, really fun game. Gonna have to try that out. And EB had a sale on where you could get a bunch of games. Like if you got 3 games that were $24.99 or less, you could get them for $45. So I picked up. I decided to pick up the anniversary edition of Rise of Tomb Raider. This comes with the special anniversary case. I know people don't say stuff about the new Tomb Raiders, but I still want to play through all the Tomb Raider games, so I figured this is probably a version of the game that I'd want to pick up. I finally picked up Dragon Quest Heroes. This is a game I've wanted to play for a while. It's like a Muso-style game using the Dragon Quest stuff. There is a 2-pack I wanted to get for Switch that comes with Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, but unfortunately I don't think that ever came out here. So I thought, might as well just pick this up, and I'll get Dragon Quest Heroes 2 another time at another time. I also finally picked up Soul Calibur 6. A lot of people have talked about this game. I've seen some of the created characters nonsense of this game, so I finally picked this up. I'll finally be playing this online, probably for Sunday streams with people. And a game I've always been curious of, which went down to $5. Pharaonic Deluxe Edition. This is some kind of action-adventure game. It looks like God of War / PS2, like action games like Jak and Daxter, or even the Anubis or whatever game. I'm assuming this is $5 because it's not very good, but $5 you can't go wrong with, so I figured I'd pick it up. So that's from one EB store. I did go to another one, but now I just need to find out where I put those games. So I went to another EB, and I picked up a couple of games. I picked up The Lost Child because it was on for $24.99. This is like a dungeon crawler RPG. I've always been interested in it, but it's always been like I don't know if you could tell here, but it says $64.99 was the last price it was on for. So yeah, it was on for less than half that, so I figured now's a good time to try it out. I feel like this is a game that Tark would talk about, or Tark's Gauntlet would talk about. Tark, if you've seen this, played this game, let me know. Like maybe we can do this for our crossover or something. I don't know. That might be fun if you haven't covered it. But yeah. I figured I'd pick it up. I'm always interested in new different RPGs for the PS4, so thought, why not? And then finally, I picked up James Pond, codename Robocod. I think this is I don't know if this is a port of the DOS original or a new thing, but it's got over 100 levels. If you don't know what James Pond is, it's a side-scrolling adventure platformer. This is not a physical game. It's in a physical case, but it's only a download code. I see this sell for around $15 to $30, and it was on sale for $10, so I figured I'd pick it up. I mean, there's no reason to pick up a physical copy of this since it's not a physical game, but it looks good on a shelf, and, if they ever do release a physical game and I find it card only, then I can put it in here. So yeah, I'm always up for side scrollers, I'm especially getting into more DOS stuff, because you guys saw I did the Christmas Chronicles for Jazz Jackrabbit, because that was on sale. I actually picked that up during Black Friday as well, the Jazz Jackrabbit games. And of course, I bought Commander Keen on my Switch, and now I have James Pond, which is one of the other side scrollers. I want them to re-release the Duke Nukem games for Switch. Like, I mean, Duke Nukem's 1 and 2. Like, 3D would be nice, obviously, but I already own 3D, Megaton, and a couple other versions of it. I'd like to get the Duke Nukem games on Switch, the early ones, 1 and 2. That'd be cool. But yeah, so James Pond got that as well. And finally, I went to a store in a mall there that called Sunrise Records, and I went to look for like vinyls and stuff. There weren't anything crazy, but I did find crazy good deal on some pop figures. Now, I don't normally collect pops. You might see some in the background here because I was shooting a Star Wars video earlier. That's why you're seeing this setup. But I usually only go for pops I really, really want. And there was a few I found for like $2, and I thought, why not? So, first and foremost, I picked up mostly Power Rangers one. I got Jason without his helmet. I got, let's see, I got Tommy without his helmet. So that's a couple right there. I also got, and I also found Zach and Trini without their helmets. I couldn't find Kimberly or Billy, but I don't think they had them. But I found, the fact that I found all these four was pretty sick. You can also get Rita Repulsa, Lord Zed, and Goldar in this set, but I didn't see any of those. But yeah, Power Rangers pop vinyls, why not, right? So I think I have a Blue Ranger somewhere, so I've got kind of a set. And then finally, this one was also $2. It's Cala Maria from Cuphead. I like getting Cuphead stuff. I have a couple of Cuphead figurines, and this one looks. And I saw this, and I'm like, I don't have one of any of the bosses, so I figured I'd pick this up, and now I have Cala Maria from Cuphead, which is a great game. So yeah, so that pretty much does it, except for a few digital things I bought that I've talked about for Black Friday and Boxing Day. But yeah, that's my Boxing Day and Christmas stuff. And not as big of a thing this year that it was in previous years, but I'm happy with what I got. I'm not working right now, so but we'll get into that a little later, as you guys know about that. So I didn't spend as much money, and that's fine, because I've got enough stuff to last me for a while. So anyways, let's get on to a recap for the year and what's next. So I'll see you guys in a second as I make a jump cut now. So let's talk about this year in review. The start of this year, I moved in from one IT job to another, and in November I lost that job. And right now I have been looking for more work, but right now I'm just kind of going with the flow. I decided I wanted to take some time off to reflect on things, not just to get some rest, but for my mental health, because I worked my ass off at my last job, and despite that, it didn't work out. And so I took November and this month, December, to kind of take a bit of a break from things like that. I still worked on content, but I took basically mostly a mental break from that. And luckily, my family's been very supportive. There's always been the potential that I could get my old job back, and I've been fighting for that, but things are not, chances are slim to none. So I've already thought about moving on to other things. I'm still going to fight for it, because I thought things could have been differently, but it didn't work out, and I'm moving forward with looking for other work. So I have been looking for other work. Haven't heard much back, but I will be. But I have put myself out there. But as a positive, I have lost over 90 pounds since July 8th of this year. I didn't meet my next goal of getting 100 before the end of the year. Unfortunately, I'd only lost a few pounds in my last doctor's visit. But you know what? That's still an accomplishment. I remember I put this shirt on the other day and I was like, this feels really baggy. Like this doesn't, like I haven't worn this shirt in a while and it feels really baggy. And as you can see, probably it's like hanging down on me and stuff. So I got to keep bringing it up. So I feel good. I feel better about myself than I was. Cause at the start of this year, when I started doing my cardio again, I noticed how hard it was for me to even walk a couple blocks. And in the back of my mind, I thought to myself, if I don't do something about this, I'm going to be in a wheelchair eventually. I'm going to hurt. My knees are going to give out. I will barely be able to walk. It was getting scary. I think I remember with the conventions I went to this year and even last year, I could barely walk without getting tired. And that has changed. I feel more energized. I feel like I have more energy in the day. I don't get tired as often as doing things normally, like going up the stairs, because my office is in the basement. Going up and down the stairs would just tire me out. And it's so inspiring to know that I've been able to lose weight and keep it off. Because I never thought, I'm trying not to get emotional, but I never thought that I would get to that point. I had tried diets in the past. I tried working out. It wasn't working for me. Nothing worked for me. And I thought, and in the back of my mind, I said, I'm probably going to be dead by 50. And I just accepted that. But my doctor and people pushed me and I went on this diet. I'm no longer diabetic, which is great. So I cured myself of my diabetes, I guess you could say. It could always come back though. And, I feel like for once in my life, I'll actually be able to get down again to a decent weight. Before college, I was overweight, but I was like maybe only like 220, 230, like not even that bad. Like, and my end goal with this is I'd like to get down to a healthy weight, which for my age and height is about 170. That's a big goal, and I've got a long road ahead of me considering I'm just getting close to passing the 100-pound lost mark. So it's a long goal. I still have, another 200-ish pounds to lose, but things are looking good. And this year, I also want to talk about accomplishments in terms of video stuff. I started a new podcast, the Noise Boys podcast I do with my buddies Excalibur, Doom TV, and Scoring Go. We got 7 episodes done this year, and we have plenty of guests planned for next year. So we're excited to do that. I think I did something like 14 or 15 reviews this year, which is more than what I expected. Maybe it wasn't that many, but as of recording this, I'm working on my last one of the year, and I want to get it done before January 1st. If it's out before you see this, awesome. That means I got it done. If it's not, I'll just get it done early January as soon as I can, because holidays kind of changed everything. I only gave myself 10 days to get the editing done. So it's the 28th when I'm recording this, just to date this episode. So I got a lot accomplished this year, and I'm certainly proud of myself in a lot of places, not just in videos, but weight and whatnot. I reached 150 followers on Twitch, which was a personal goal of mine by the end of the year, and I finally met it. And I want to thank everybody on Twitch who follows me and whatnot. You guys definitely should check me out on Twitch. I stream 3 times a week now. Go check it out. That might be changing in the future depending on what happens where I end up working. But I plan to keep going with Twitch in the new year. My next goal is I'd like to get 15 subs on Twitch so I can unlock another emote for people. So that's kind of a tough goal because I've been stuck kind of at the 4 or 5 sub. I've kind of petered out at 4 or 5 subs in the last little bit, but we'll see what happens in the new year. We'll see if I can get that higher. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with stuff that went out this year. This is probably one of the best years of the decade. I think personally the best for me was 2016, but this was a really good year too for me, not just just for progress and where I'm at. And thanks again to everybody who's been following along with this journey. So now I'm going to do one more jump cut, and we're going to talk about what's to come in the new year. And actually, before I do that, I should probably talk about. Oh, you know what? No, let's jump into that. I will see you guys in a jump cut when we talk about the new year and the future. Yes. So we're ending off a decade here. 2019 is going to be the end of the decade. We're moving into the roaring 20s, as people have been trying to say. We're moving into the 2020s, starting with 2020 this year. Looking back at the last 10 years, I've changed a lot. In terms of at the start of the year, I worked at my first IT jobs. I got laid off from that job, went back to college, and got my certifications and my computer engineering diploma. I worked a couple more IT jobs. There was one year where I was working a fast food job, which I only did to get money because I had to pay some money back. And then I worked I worked the longest I'd ever worked a single job, before these last two jobs where one was contract and this one that only lasted 9 months. So in terms of like my personal working, that changed. I gained a lot of weight. I lost a bunch within those 10 years, and I'm still paying for it, but I'm on the right track to lose more. And content-wise, I started this decade off with mostly my abridged and parody content, and that's kind of petered out, and I've switched over to doing more game content, like my Twitch streams, my Let's Plays, my reviews. I've also done other little content, like I've experimented with doing reviews of like music and toy reviews, collectibles, reviewing movies, stuff like that. And honestly, I think I've found a good balance of content. I know I'm constantly changing things up with my content, but the things that have remained the same is the game reviews and stuff like that. So thanks everybody who's been following me for the last little while. I guess, I started doing YouTube in 2007. So I guess the last 12, 13-ish years. Thanks for following me and staying up with my stuff. I know I haven't been consistent. I know I've changed stuff around, but I think the most consistent thing is my gaming stuff has been. So thank you for following me for that. As in terms of what's coming in the new year, I do have, of course, a New Year's resolution. My two hopes for my main New Year's resolution is get back on the hop with my cardio. I've been and my working out. I've been lackluster on that. I'm starting to plateau in terms of what this diet can do for me, losing weight on just making dietary changes. I need to start exercising too. So I'm going to start doing that within the new year. I meant to do it sooner, but things got in the way. So I'm just, when the new year starts, I'm going to go hard on that and start doing like at least half an hour cardio a day, just so I could get further and lose more weight. Because I'm on a good, I've started off good. I just need to keep going and until I get to a healthier weight. In the future, I'd like to do more, vacationing, in the decade. I'd like to go see some of the places I wanted to see. I wanted to do an Asian tour. I want to go see South Korea. I want to go see Japan. I want to see Thailand. Luckily, I have friends who live in all those areas. So, if you're a friend of mine, you're watching this, let me know if you cool with me staying with you for a night or two in one of those areas. So I really just want to see those places. I thought of seeing China, but I think China's going to be off right now because them in Hong Kong and the stuff going on there. I'd like to see Hong Kong and Shanghai at some point, but I think I'll hold off on those for now. I do also eventually want to go see Europe. I want to see London or England in general. I want to see, Scotland. I want to see, Russia, places like that. I want to see the world, essentially. The last decade, I saw I got out of my element and went to the States. I went out of my country a few times. I saw Connecticut. I saw New York. I saw New Jersey. I went to Texas for the first time. So I visited outside of my element. I'd like to now go overseas in the future. So, and I talked to a family member who does work in Japan. She's actually flying out next month to go back, and she told me all the things. She's like, you would love it, all these things. So I want to go to Japan specifically, see some of my friends, see some of the sites, things, and I do want to do that at some point. I'm also looking towards where I want to go with my content. I want to make my content stronger in the future. I want to be a better I want to be a better streamer. I want to rise up as a streamer and do even better things. I want to make more content on my review channel, make more Let's Plays, do more power plays. I have so many ideas that I want to do for stuff, and maybe some new other ideas that I haven't touched yet. There's so much stuff I want to do. It's just finding the time to do it all. And hopefully in the new year, I can get more of that. I'd also like to go back to doing parodies. I know that I've been wishy-washy on my parodies, but I'd like to do more of them because I feel like I still have ideas for those as well. And I do have a couple of things I'm working on people with as well. So I think at the end of the day, I think the future looks pretty bright. This decade was the decade of where there's a lot of low points and there's a lot of high points. And I'm taking those experiences and going to use them to learn for the future. And I mean, for real learn. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't do, that I should have done, and now I'm going to do them. So, thank you all for being on this journey with me in the last decade. I have some important videos coming out at the start of the year, including my regular top 10 games of 2019, as well as probably a top games of the last decade. I'm still wondering if I'm going to do that, but I have some interesting stuff planned for the future. I have some crossover reviews that I'm working on as well with other content creators outside of the River City Gamers, with other content creators I haven't worked with before. And I'm always looking for new content to look up. So if you're a content creator, let me know what stuff you've got. I'd love to see it. Just leave me a comment, whatever. And leave me a comment on some stuff you guys would like to see, because I want to know what you guys want to see from me. I want to know what of my stuff that you enjoy. Do you like, do you like the Zero's Maverick hunting? Do you like the Star Wars retrospective? Do you like Zero's album review? Do you like the Hunter Base podcast? What do you like? Do you like my bridge stuff? Let me know down below, because I want to get your guys more interaction from you guys on what I should do. But yeah, anyways, I'm rambling now. I'm going to end this video. Thank you so much for an awesome year, an awesome decade. Here's to 2020 and to a new decade of stuff to do, and we'll see where I am from there. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the new year. Take care.